it's me, it's Mr. Watson. Welcome back to my channel. So I am here in District 12 of the Hunger Games. I know it doesn't look like it, but I'll show you more later. First, we have to take the tour and sign some waivers and get tickets. Now, tickets are $15, and they all go to preserving the property. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna take the tour, and then I'll come back and I'll show you guys some stuff around the village. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so everything's signed and set up. This is the front of the store. Now, I would like to point out that I do have special permission to film on the property. Normally you're not allowed. You can take pictures, but it's normally not allowed to video. Now, I won't be videoing during the tour, but I will incorporate a lot of pictures into the video. This right here is where, in District 12, over here on this side, where it says pastries, is where PETA was standing when he was throwing the bread to Katniss, and she was somewhere in this general area. I'll be back in a minute. Okay guys, so I just finished my tour here at Henry River Mill Village. I can speak English sometimes, and they do such a great job. If you want to check it out, you'll have to come check it out yourself. I couldn't film, of course, during the tour itself because that wouldn't make any sense. But I'll just show you so far what I know. So this, as I mentioned before, was the scene of the bakery where PETA was throwing bread out to Katniss. And now, I'd like to point out that it looks a little different than it did in the film. And you'd be exactly right. You see, they had extensions built on. They had a porch and an awning. They had several different things, but they had to tear it down as they left. And also, you might notice in the film, there was a lot of gravel. So they had a lot of gravel and dirt lined in these streets here. And it basically, they had to, again, remove all of that after they were done filming. So basically, when you see Katniss walking to her house or out from her house in the games, this is what you're seeing. You don't see the pavement, but there was gravel that was covering all of this. And so I'm going to show you the front of Katniss's house now. We're not going to go inside, but I will let you see the outside of the house and see if you recognize it. So this is the front of Katniss's house from the film. There's a lot of history here, actually, more so than just the Hunger Games. There were actual people who used to live in these houses, and you know, it used to be an actual village. And one of the things that the tour guide pointed out that I thought was interesting is you see how small this house is, right? And you see where this window is here. Well, where this window is actually used to be a door, because like today's modern duplexes, where it's basically two houses in one building, that's what this was. Two people would live in half, or several people would live in half of a house. Now, records date back that in one of the houses, I don't know exactly which one of them, but there were 13 children in one house. Add mom and dad in, and there's 15 children in half of a house. Could you imagine? Imagine how lucky we are today as Americans to be able to live freely and get the whole house to ourselves. Or if we do live in a duplex, there's room enough for everybody because of modern construction. Now, something else that I'd like to point out, rather than just living in half of a house, we also had the company store, which is the bakery. Now, inside of this building, there were a lot of things that took place in this building. It was where everything kind of met in one. So there was, there might have been part of a bakery, kind of a grocery center, maybe some clothing section in there. It was basically like a mass general store. So everything was all together because it did reduce the building costs. And I like to personally believe that, you know, they were just smarter back in the day, because if you think about it, now think about it, use your brain, think about it. how much easier would it be to go to the bank? Because yes, this was a bank, this was a store, this was a church, and this was a school up on the second store, on the second story. So everything was all here together, and yes, it did reduce building costs, but it also was kind of a convenience thing. Maybe they were just a lot smarter than us back in the day because, you know, they don't have modern technology to bog our minds down. Now, I know that I am a YouTuber and I am here filming a video that you are probably going to sit at home and watch on your couch or watch in your chair or whatever and probably have all this modern technology surrounding you. But let's face it, technology boggles our minds down pretty well. So this was where everything came together. Now, imagine today if you could go to the bank and the store and everything, grocery shopping, clothes shopping, everything you needed right in one place. That would be amazing. I mean, picture it's raining, picture it's snowing, picturing it's blistering hot. And, you know, with modern vehicles, you know, we have air conditioning, we have music, and traveling isn't all that bad. And a 15-minute drive to the grocery store is not that bad. But you have to remember back here, all they did was mostly walk, or cars were few and far between, or they had horses and carriages. But it's one trip for one stop for everything. It's like a one-stop shop. I mean, it's brilliant in its own way. Now I'm going to take you down a little bit further down into the village itself. And we're going to explore. Excuse my shininess and my sweat, okay? I'm wearing all black because, you know, I wear all black all the time. Let me get in the shade over here. So, now this area right here, this giant pit, was basically filled with water. And it was a way to, they kept it filled with water and they used it as sort of a fire extinguishing system and basically gravity power. So if you'll notice, as we go down this hill, it's a lot of downhill and it's straight down the hill. And when you go down the hill, what does that water do? See, the water line is here and we're already starting to dip down below the water line. Now we are below the water line. So all the mills and the stuff that was down here, if it caught on fire, there's a fire extinguisher down here. Let me show you that. Walking fast. Right, let's see, get it in frame and point at it at the same time. YouTuber life, let's see. Right around there. Yep, there it is. And basically you would hook a hose up to it and it would basically drain this little basin of water here. They didn't have plumbing back in those days, so that would be why. Now, most of these houses are awesome and, you know, they are dilapidated, so you can't go in any of them, but you can only imagine what's inside there. You know, think back to film history and stuff like that, and just imagine what awesome and wonders could be inside of these houses. Now, I wouldn't actually go in there because, you know, one, it's forbidden on the property, and two, I don't imagine it would be safe after this long. The only house that is safe to go in is Katniss's house, which I did get to go in, and I might show you some pictures from that a little later. Right now we are walking down to, in one of the scenes of the Hunger Games, you may remember in one of the hunting scenes, Katniss runs across a dam. Well, this is what we're going down to, and this is what I'm going to kind of pan and show you if I can get down here. So, taking a little two-step down. Now, as we go farther and farther from the village, it kind of fades into the background as the working area down here where the mill and all of that stuff. I don't know what all it is to do with the processes of making cotton, because that's what this village was originally. They picked cotton, they made it into a fine string, and probably, I would imagine, made some sort of clothing. And so they had like a warehouse here. Now, the original mill that was here, has burnt down because it was struck by lightning and caught fire back in the day. But you can only imagine right here where this empty place is down here, and I'll go down the pathway and kind of show you a little bit more. Let's see. Right around here was the entrance to the main building, and it was really huge. It was like 3 stories tall and like twice or 4 times, I think he said 4 times the size of the Bass General Store. Now, down here, I'm gonna kind of get it to where I can get it in frame without going too far down, because no. Right here, you see where that building is, where the tin roof is. Let's see if I can use some film skills. I don't know that it's necessarily visible to the blind eye. I'm trying to look at it and find it in the viewfinder. Hold on. Oh, yep. See that concrete slab right there? That is the dam that Katniss runs across. Well, I don't think Jennifer Lawrence actually ran across it. It was probably her stunt double, but hey, you know, basically Katniss. So that's where that happened. And then I'm gonna go back up this hill, kind of explain some more to you about it. So like I said, it is a very fun tour. The tickets are only $15, and it's all nonprofit and goes to a organization to the I can't speak English. It goes to the upkeep of the property, and it also kind of oh, I tripped over my own 2 feet. And it also is going towards, in Katniss's house, they do plan on doing a history museum on the history of the village. Now, we didn't do this on the tour, but I'm going to do it here. It's a very steep walkway, and I'm going to walk it just because it's a shortcut, and it's longer going all the way around, because we go all the way around that road, behind that house, and come back around. I'm just going to huff it up this hill, so let's see how fast I can make it up this hill. It's at 11, 13, and go. Mind you, I am in all black clothing with a backpack on my back, and I am running up this hill right now. Whoa. And not to mention, I kind of run like a duck. Okay, it was on 11:13, it's 11:33. Oh, man, that's a workout. I'm having a fat Amy moment from like Pitch Perfect. I'm like, no, don't put me down for cardio. Woo! Okay. Lord, I shouldn't have ran like that. I'm gonna be out of breath for the next 15 minutes maybe. Goodness gracious. Woo! Now, if you're in the area, hold on. Let me catch my breath for a minute. Fat people like me should have the sense not to run, but I don't. I like how you can see in this back window over here that there's a stairwell that goes up. It's just fascinating to me. Woo! Oh, I do too much sometimes. Breathe. Okay, so more history that I'll talk about while I'm walking around to my next point. They actually blew up a building here on site, which is funny because when they were filming the movie, it was in the middle of the drought, in the middle of the summer, and they had to get permission. Well, permission was denied as it was the middle of a drought, in the middle of the woods, wanting to blow up a wooden house. So what they did was they used a little bit of movie magic. You know how compressed air will build up and then it just explodes? Well, yeah, they did a bunch of that and blew up the building with that, and then added CGI for smoke and stuff like that. I'm out of breath still. Okay, walking down the pathway into Katniss's house. So this is where the history museum will be, as I have stated before. Now, a lot of things that they filmed were back here in the back of the house. They did use a lot of this. So walking down here, this is the back of Katniss's house with the dilapidated, I can't speak English. Dilapidated back porch and everything. And they do plan on restoring all of this back to its original glory. Okay, so we're out here behind Katniss's house. You line up the shot and you have the Hunger Games angle of all of the buildings. They had extras around this area and some outhouses. This would be the one that belonged to Katniss's family. Now, it looks better when the outhouses are closest to the house, but if you think about it, because they did have to rebuild it, but they were originally probably somewhere down here. And if you think of it, it makes good sense because you don't want an outhouse that close to the actual house because of the smell. But anyway, you line it up right here and you have your perfect Hunger Games shot where Katniss is walking through the district. And the owners and the founders of this area actually have, let's see, back down there where the river was on one side, I don't know if you saw it or not, I don't know if it was in film, but there was a big white house up on the hill. That was one of the founders' houses, and it was big, white, and immaculate. And another one of them, because it was owned by two different families, one of them are right over here, and there are smokestacks. I don't know how well you can see it, but you can see it better in person. But they had to CGI the smokestacks out in the Hunger Games because it is a huge white house. And so they had to CGI. There's a scene where it pans through the district and it shows like a factory with smokestacks. That's that house with a CGI in front of it. All right, it's 16 minutes into the video. I'm sweating like a dog. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for coming along on the tour with me, my own personal self-guided tour. Again, I would like to stress that I do have special permission to be filming here on the property. It's normally not allowed, but I was granted special permission. But yes, if you're in the Hildebrand area and you would like to come check them out, I'm sure they would be glad to have you. I'll put the links to their website in the description down below. That's it for this video. We'll wrap it up in front of Katniss's house. If you did like this video, be sure to smash that like button. Also, if you want to and see more videos like this, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Also, if you want, you can like me on Facebook, facebook.com/theincredible Mr. Watson. Thank you guys so much for being here. Peace out.